How you doing today, my friend?
Pretty good.
Warm and steamy day after it was storming like crazy this morning.
Dude, at like 5 in the morning, I got like these loud ass thunder.
That was my alarm clock this morning.
Me too, basically, yeah. I was like deep in sleep. I hear that and I'm just like... And
like,
I could not basically, I tried to, and I could not fucking fall asleep for the life of me after that this morning.
Yeah, it was wild.
Also, just goddamn, was it so fucking hot out today?
It was so hot.
I tried doing like a short round, just like the back nine at Token, and it just was not happening. After like the first couple, I was just like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
I wouldn't have even tried.
This.
I can't believe you even tried, but at the same time, I'm like, no.
Well, my brain is like, oh, look at the bright blue sky, the clouds, all the pretty colors, all the fucking birds playing in the bird bath or whatever.
Birds.
I have 2 of them on my porch, so I see a lot of them. It's mostly pigeons, but I'm like, it's beautiful out. I want to go outside. Then I go outside, and I'm like, I want to go back inside.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you like walk outside, you're like, oh, this fucking is terrible. And then you just walk back inside, and you're like, all right, I'm good.
Average introvert behavior.
Right? Just walk outside. Walk, all right. Well, I sucks. Go back inside.
Yeah. I can't go out there. It's scary out there.
It's just like... for anywhere it gets like really humid and stuff like that, it's like you hit these like July, August months or whatever. Even June can be really bad, and it's just like you're just like, oh my god! It's just walking outside. You're like walking into a sauna.
I mean, the problem is that we live in Wisconsin, and in our state, I feel like specifically there are months of the year where you just can't go outside. Rather, it's too fucking cold outside or it's too fucking hot outside.
But for those like 3 months in the fall where it's just perfect is beautiful.
It is heavenly.
It's so great. You got the nice of all like the leaves coming off, all the like they're all changing color, and you just go, oh, this is awesome.
But like early July through like mid-August and like I think it's February through like March, it's just like going outside is just a no-go.
Yeah.
You stay inside at all times.
Yeah. It's just like, oh. There's like, I don't, it's like, I know some people like live for the heat, and I'm like, I don't know how you fuckers do it. It's like, people just love the sweat, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I prefer the cold months. Not like the super cold months. Like, the winter can be fine as long as it's not like too much snow, but like, if I could just live in fall weather, like year round, oh, amazing. Anyway,
Something I tried recently was I finally sat down and played FBC Firebreak, that new game from Remedy.
Oh yeah, how's it?
I was really excited because it takes place in the same like place as Control, and I love that game. FBC Firebreak is dog shit, though.
Not a great one, huh?
No. The problem is that I logged in, right? I had so much trouble just finding a match I could connect to. It did not explain what any of the thoroughly explain what any of the classes do. I thought there was going to be a tutorial. You think there would be one, right? It's like, oh, it's explaining like what all the modifiers and stuff do. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It never gave me a tutorial mission.
No.
I was just kind of like thrown into a game with randos, and I feel like they were endlessly frustrated with me because I didn't know how spawn points worked. I didn't know how health stations worked or ammo stations worked. So I was always out of ammo. The specialty weapon I had no idea what its use case was. We were constantly flooded with enemies, and the map was so confusing. Like, there was one point where we were in a boss battle, right? And I had to go back to the spawn room, and I had absolutely no idea where the fuck to go because it was just highways. There would just be like hallways leading into dead ends, and enemies would respawn, some again with very little ammo, trying to fight my way back to my teammates, and yeah, for like half the match because I didn't know there were ammo stations. I was just running around meleeing everything, asking my teammate to shoot shit for me. I felt so bad. How this game is not still in like a beta, I have no idea. I feel like it'll eventually be good, but
yeah,
man, that was an unpleasant surprise.
it is unfortunate because I feel like I don't know. It's just like it's just one of those developers where you're just like, oh yeah, anything they put out is great, and then you just that happens, and you're like,
You didn't have to do this, but you did, and it makes me very disappointed.
Yeah. Yep.
And you fuckers made Alan Wake and Quantum Break
and Alan Wake 2
and
Control
and fucking Max Payne, dude.
It's in there.
How did you fuck this up? We can stop now. We should probably do an intro, right?
Whatever. But hello and welcome to another episode of It Never Ends. I'm Andrew. Over there is my good buddy Alex. How you doing today?
Pretty good.
Nice. Not a lot gaming wise I want to talk about, but baseball is in an interesting spot because we're right before the trade deadline, and everyone's just looking at what trades are going to be made, obviously, because with the big teams and everything like that. So I'm no expert when it comes to this kind of stuff, but I was like, I generally keep a good look at it, and I was like, I guess I'll just talk about the Brewers because they're the team I always follow or whatever. And with their big hot streak, I don't even know if they even need to trade for anybody. Like usually, I would say at some point in the season that we needed I know earlier in the season I was like, oh, we absolutely need a third baseman or we absolutely need a shortstop, pretty much. But it's like Durbin's been playing really well lately, and it's just like, can you go, do we now? And considering we're now on top of the league. As of today's recording, the 23rd of July, the Brewers have the best record in baseball.
Yeah, I didn't think did we get any new trades recently?
No.
The way you're talking, okay.
No, it's just the trade deadline's coming up, so this is going to be the point where a lot of trades that are happening across the league. So,
like you said, I think they're doing really well this season. I don't see why we would need any trades.
It's the idea that right now the Brewers, we don't have a power bat really. Like we don't have a home run hitter. It's like Yelich is our biggest home run hitter, and he's got 19, and that's fine. But it's just kind of not their identity this year. I mean, despite being one of the lowest, what do they say? Like one of the lowest teams when it comes to slugging. It's like we still are putting up the 7th most runs in baseball. So it's like, yeah, we're not hitting home runs, but we're still scoring runs, so it doesn't really matter.
I really do not think it matters at all.
No, and it's like, what was it? I was watching them play the Mariners game the other day, and they were just like, yeah, I mean, this team's they're just so a tight-knit group or whatever, and they just kind of all figured it out and are meshing together. It's like, last thing you want to do is trade away a guy or something like that, and then the whole dynamic of the team gets kind of thrown out into the wayside or whatever. It's crazy to me as well because about a month ago, they were saying it's like, oh, the Brewers would trade Freddie Peralta, the ace of the team and stuff like that. And then they gonna go, I was like, oh man, it's gonna really suck if they do that type thing. And it's like, if they do that, it's gonna be like that. And since that point, we have the best record in baseball. And then now we just have, in general, the best record in baseball and have produced so much. The pitching rotation is best. We have so much pitching that we have to throw good pitchers in the bullpen that could be starting for us at the moment. That's how deep we are. It's like you look at it. It's like our top 5 rotation is Freddie Peralta, Jacob Mizrowski, Jose Quintana, Quinn Priester, and we still got Nestor Cortez Jr. coming back as well, and it's just like Chad Patrick, and I'm just like, Jesus. And I'm like, and you still got Tobias Myers, Aaron Ashby. I'm like, oh my God, these guys are all so good. And so I'm just like, don't need any pitching. Bullpen's been one of the best in baseball. So you shouldn't need that. And so it's like I look at who's available, and the big one that is the third baseman for the Arizona Diamondbacks, that Eugenio Suarez. He's a big power bat, and it's like he's only a rental, and I say rental because it's just like he's on the last year of his contract, and will probably try and look for a bigger contract after this year because he's playing so well. So he won't probably still be with the team because the Brewers aren't going to sign him. They won't. So it'll just be like we want to win now type thing. So we think we can do it with this, but with the amount of teams
right now.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say with the Brewers right now, they're the epitome of if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I'm of the same mindset too. I'm like, Durbin's been playing fine at third. Siegler has kind of been our utility guy along with Andrew Monasterio, and I'm just like, it works. So I'm gonna I would stick with it. And considering how many teams need a third baseman right now with the Yankees, the Cubs, and like the Tigers, it's like I bet you the Yankees will probably get Suarez if I had to guess. It's like they are so desperate for a third baseman that actually can play third that they will probably offer the Diamondbacks a lot and probably try and package it with another pitcher for the Diamondbacks, either between Zach Gallen or Merrill Kelly, because they need a bit of pitching as well. I could absolutely see that happen. Other than that, it's like probably Alcantara will get traded from the Marlins. Everyone's saying that probably the Cubs are going to get the Marlins or get Alcantara, and I go, yeah. But he is a pretty good starting pitcher, so my guess is that a lot of teams still probably want him. Where he goes, I don't know. Whoever offers the Marlins best offer. If you had to ask me, it's depending on how hard Houston's going for it, they'll probably get it because I think they have the deepest farm system.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of like really interesting. It's like the Pittsburgh Pirates have been so ass that they're basically looking like they're gonna just gut their entire team of the talent it does have. Jeez. That's not Paul Skeens, because Skeens is not getting traded. It sucks knowing that a guy like Paul Skeens, one of the best pitchers in baseball, basically, is just gonna be stuck on like the Pirates for the next like 4 years, basically, before he finally says, I'm fucking done with this shit and can actually do something with it. It's like David Bednar, what is it, Mitch Keller, or whatever. Bednar has been pretty good, has been by far Pittsburgh's best reliever, and then Mitch Keller has been not his greatest year of all time, but he's still got a good amount of value in him. I'm curious to see if the Cardinals actually end up trading Nolan Arenado this year. Like, with the amount of teams that are looking for a third baseman right now, it's like whoever doesn't get Suarez, I feel like we'll probably try and go for Arenado next. I know everyone's looking at Ryan McMahon for the Rockies and saying, he'll probably get traded finally. And I go, I think I'd rather trade for Arenado. But I can understand teams not wanting to like have his contract because it's a lot of money.
Yeah, and you think the Cardinals are going to go for him?
Well, the thing is, the Cardinals traded for him years ago, and he has this big contract he signed with the Rockies, and that's been part of the reason why it's been so hard to trade him is because he's getting paid so much money, and no one's going to want to take on his contract basically to do so. So it's like, but because of the talent he has, some team might want that. I don't think there are many teams that would do that. I think the Yankees might consider doing that, and if they do that, because if they don't get Suarez and they go for like Arenado, if they do again end up getting Arenado, it'll be really funny because last year he was teammates with Paul Goldschmidt, and now they're on the Yankees instead of the Cardinals. Cardinals will absolutely trade Ryan Helsley if I had to guess, considering how badly the Cardinals have played. They just lost 2 out of 3 to the Rockies. The Rockies have the worst record in baseball.
Jesus.
And it's like now they're below 500, and it's like, man,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Horrifying. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like when you have one of the best relievers in baseball, and it's his last year of his club control. Yeah, he's gonna get traded. Some team's gonna want one of the best closers in baseball with Ryan Helsley, and he will do just that. I see here that because I'm looking at like Jeff Passan's like top guys he thinks are gonna get traded and what percentage chance that they're gonna get traded, and I was curious to see. I was like, he has Adolis Garcia of the Texas Rangers has a 50% chance. I don't disagree with that because I'm like, he's good, but I just don't know who really wants him. I like how he has Luis Severino for the A's. It's like Severino's been so bad at home but so good everywhere else that they were just like, oh, we might just trade him even though we gave him this big ass contract. I don't know. Of these guys, I think for who the Brewers might go for, I would like to see them go for like Taylor Ward from the Angels. It's like, not that we necessarily need the outfield help, but because he's a power bat and plays pretty good defense in the outfield, just add a bit more depth out there that it could. It's like, because you'd have him for at least another year after that. I could see it. I don't think I would want them to do that, but they could.
They could. Like you said, I don't really see them doing that.
I don't know. I just don't see a lot. I find it funny that Luis Roberts Jr. is here. He's having such a bad year with the White Sox, and like all of his trade value is gone, and yet there's still some team that will probably want and then go, we could fix him. And I go, eh. Which it's funny for me to say that, considering the Brewers, like for a while ago, traded Aaron Savali for Andrew Vaughn, and that was just because Savali wasn't happy about getting thrown into the bullpen. I get that, and the Brewers knew that as well.
Yeah.
So they were just like, let's just get something for him. So they offered him to the White Sox, and we got back Andrew Vaughn. Now, if you've been paying attention to baseball, and you haven't been paying attention to the Brewers before the All-Star break, when the Brewers swept the Dodgers in the first 3 at home, and then swept them again after the All-Star break. First time that's happened, by the way, by a team that's not in the NL West since 2006. That the season series went 6-0 in not for the Dodgers. First time since 2006. That's insane. But it's like, in that time, Vaughn hit 12 RBIs, almost all exclusively against the Dodgers. And then you're like, man, this is the guy they gave up on, and he was like a first-round pick for them like years ago, and he's just like, yeah, we give up or whatever. He comes over to the Brewers, instantly just like major impact. I just thought that was funny.
That is.
I don't know. It's just some guys. It's just sometimes you ask yourself. It's like, is it the player? Is it the coaches? Is it just the environment? Maybe it is. Never know.
I like to think it's a little bit of spite.
I think it's a little bit of everything. Yeah. It's just like, Vaughn was just like, I'm so glad to be out of Chicago type thing. And now I'm at a winning ball club. Hell yeah. It's like the only reason he got called up too is because Hoskins got hurt, and so it's just like, all right, I'm here. There's almost no expectations for me to hit, so I'm just gonna go out there and do my thing. Proceeds in his first at bat as a Brewer to hit a 3-run home run against one of the best pitchers in baseball with Yoshio Yamamoto, and you go, damn. Just thought it was funny. Oh yeah, I guess Johan Duran is an interesting one for the Twins. He's their closer for the Twins. He's a good one too. Kind of forgot about him.
It says here that the Twins just signed on Merrick Houston.
Hmm?
Am I pronouncing that name right? Merrick Houston?
Merrick Houston. I have no idea what that is. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Did I just read this? I just see this report here on the side. The Cardinals designated for assignment DFA for Eric Fetty. That's funny. They traded for Eric Fetty years ago, thinking that he was going to be one of their best starters, and he was so bad since getting traded over like 2 years ago that they just said, we're just done with you. It's like, damn, that's unfortunate. But if that doesn't sum up the Cardinals in recent years, where they make all these trades and they go, oh yeah, we'll give away our best prospects or whatever, only for them to turn into some of the best players in the league. And you go, maybe we should have kept these guys. It's always so hard to predict the trade deadline here or whatever. It's like you got all these guys that could or could not go, and like you never know who's going to be the thing. I think there's a legitimate chance that the Angels trade Mike Trout this year. I just don't know who would want to take on that big ass contract if they do, and how, and like. I mean, I've said for years basically, it was just like, if Trout's been is one of the best players in all of baseball type thing, but he will never ever see playoff baseball while he's with the Angels. But unfortunately, he signed like a 13-year, like $430 million contract with them years ago. At this point, like he's deep into it, so it's just like you're not gonna be able to trade him. So he's just going to like rot on a really bad Angels team. I say rot because the team had Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani on it, and they couldn't even make a playoff spot. They couldn't make a fucking wild card. How could that team not make a wild card? That is one of the greatest mysteries in all of baseball is how none of those Angels teams, like the 2018 to 2022 Angels teams, could not make a single wild card spot, at least a wild card spot. Yeah, I also see here that apparently reports are that the Pirates are listening to offers for O'Neal Cruz, and O'Neal Cruz is a very interesting player because he's got a ton of talent. Yet I feel like this year he's been one of the laziest players. It's like you watch him like take like they moved him into center field because his defense at short was not great, and he's got a ton of speed. So you think he'd be able to track down balls, and he's got a great arm. So you think he'd be able to throw some guys out, and he has thrown on some guys at like home plate and whatever on some great throws. But then you just watch him sometimes like take a little like ground ball or something like that, or like a little easy play, completely botches it or whatever, and then just kind of like stands there like, well, shit. And it's like, go get the ball, man. Like, that's just that's the Pittsburgh Pirates for you right there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to any Pirates fans that may or may not be listening to this, but you know.
So I'm on this ESPN article talking about an possible MLB trade, and they're not being very charitable to the Pirates at all.
No, I mean, I wish I could say the Pirates are one of those teams that you look at their their roster, and you go, this should be like an okay team. I don't expect them to win the Central. I don't really expect much out of them, but they might make a wild card spot or whatever. They've got the pitching for it with schemes, Mitch Keller, Jared Jones, or whatever type thing. Like those are like schemes. Obviously, one of their ace, Merrill Kelly, who's been pretty good, very underperforming this year. Jared Jones, who's hurt this year, so he had Tommy John, so he's done for the year. And stuff like that, and you sit here going just like, this team should probably be better, but it's Pittsburgh, so I don't know. It didn't help that it was just like, oh yeah, like 3 weeks into the season. They fired their manager or whatever, and there's just been an interim manager ever since. So it's like, oh, we already gave up on the season like 3 weeks in because we were playing so bad, and then you think just by promoting one of the assistants is going to get better? It's like, no. No, you need to take a whole new approach or whatever and just bring in all new people at this point, because it's just like you just need a whole culture swap. And at that point, you just try and get as many prospects as you can out of the value you have. That's why everyone's saying it's like, could Schemes get traded this season? And the answer to that is absolutely fucking not, because the Pirates need him to sell tickets. It's weird because it's like, when you watch a Pirates game when Schemes is pitching, the place is packed because everyone wants to watch him pitch. When he's not pitching, it's very, very light. There's not a lot of fans, and you go, interesting, huh? So it's like, and then there's that where it's just like, oh, the Pirates will ask way too much, and no team has the package to do what they would want. They would want like probably like 1 to 2 MLB ready pitchers with like 6 top prospects, and I'm like, no team's gonna do that. No one's gonna do that. If some team does that, like, if I'm eating my words in a week, wouldn't that be fucking something?
Yeah.
But I can confidently say that there's no way in hell Schemes is getting traded unless.
Oh no! Absolutely
unless
not.
unless they just say we're just not even gonna fucking bother and we're just gonna get what we can for him. But it's like, you think for a guy that's a literal generational talent, pretty much. It's like the guy throws 100 miles an hour fastball and throws like 6 different pitches. He's like the epitome of unhittable. It's like watching him and Mizorowski, like, it's just like I'm watching like a young Jacob deGrom. And if you know what I mean by that, it's like you just watching one of the young players, like, just overpower pitchers, constantly be throwing like 100 miles per hour plus while mixing in like a 90 mile an hour slider, and it's just like, it's unhittable, and teams were just getting dominated. Like DeGrom won back-to-back Cy Youngs doing that or whatever, and then had to get like Tommy John surgery and a shoulder injury fix, which sidelined him for over like 3 years. And it's like he's now just getting back where he's been pretty good again. It's like, imagine that, but, you know, you're like 21 to 23 years old. I'm scared. I'm glad one of those guys is on our team. It's like, man, I didn't watch a ton of Mizorowski before he was called up, but I knew he was good. I didn't realize how good he was, though. Really. Padres, Phillies, and Royals among teams that are looking at Jarren Duran for the Red Sox. The Red Sox are an interesting team because theoretically they're good and they're in the hunt, but the thing is earlier in the season they traded Rafael Devers to the Giants because apparently Devers was a head case for them. It's like, oh, guy gets hurt. They say, hey, could you... I was like, he didn't want to move from third base after they signed Bregman over the offseason. He was very unhappy about it. Then told he's like, oh, yeah, you're going to be the designated hitter. And he's just like, don't worry about getting your glove up or whatever type thing. We're not going to have you play the field. You're just going to use your bat and hit. That's what your role is going to be this year. And then he gets mad about when Boston's first baseman goes down with an injury for the rest of the year. And he goes, oh, well, now they want me to play first. What are they going to have me do? Play outfield next time, blah, 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 blah. And then apparently some shit went down, and they traded him like 3 days later. And then now he goes to the Giants, and he goes, oh, yeah, I'm open to play first type thing. And you go, what? It sounds like to me you just didn't want to be at Boston, yet you signed like a 10-year, $330 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole situation is interesting, but who knows what's actually going on or not in the background. But it's like, oh yeah, the Red Sox are looking like, oh yeah, we might trade Jarren Duran despite him being like one of the fastest outfielders and like best leadoff hitters. Why would you want to trade a guy like that? Well, you got so many outfielders, and I go, find a way to play all of them. The Brewers are doing that. It's like we're having Yelich DH or whatever. Now you don't have Devers DHing all the time. Who the hell is? It's like put Roman Anthony. Put. I don't know. What? I don't get it. I think the thing I'll be most curious about is like, are the Phillies actually going to make a move for pitching, because their ace closer Jose Alvarado got hit with a PED suspension earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as a result of that, when they make the playoffs, because they're absolutely making the playoffs, or at least they should, that he will not be eligible to pitch in it. So they need a closer. And so it's like, oh, are they going to go for Bednar? Are they going to go for Clase or whatever for the Guardians, because the Guardians stink? And I go, I don't know. I feel like the Guardians are going to want too much for Emmanuel Clase. He's really good, but I don't see it. I mean, unless the Guardians just like say, hey, we're just going to try and get a bunch of new guys basically because we just couldn't do anything this year. Yeah, Shane Bieber. Yeah, he's an interesting one too for the Guardians as well. The Guardians have a bunch of guys that I think could potentially go, like Clase. I know they said Stephen Kwan is off the market and they're unlikely to be traded. Basically, he's the left fielder for the Guardians, another super great outfielder.
Yeah, but
it's like, it's like the Guardians are having an off year. They did a thing where they traded Josh Naylor to the Diamondbacks. They're like big slugging first baseman who had hit like over 30 homers and like 100 RBIs, and then signed Carlos Santana to play first. Didn't work out. As well as it was like Clase had like an incredible year last year where I think he blew like one save over like 50 attempts or something like that. And so he's just like, and then this year he's having a much rougher year, and it's just like, the Guardians are just interesting because you think that for a team that won the AL Central, we're looking and like, oh, it's like, okay, you lost a little bit of bat or whatever, but your pitching was still great last year, and then it's just not been great, and your offense has been so streaky. Yeah, it's like I'd like to say that it's like, oh, they're probably going to keep a lot of stuff, but it's like, man, I was like, knowing how small market teams work, being a Brewers fan, you know how these small market teams tend to go. It's that you trade while value is high sometimes, when the season's not going your way or whatever type thing, to get young guys to bring in to try and work your way up back to that point again. So if you can get some good prospects back or whatever for, a guy that probably won't be around the team in another year or two, that's how you got to do it. It's like Brewers are a great example of that. It's like we traded Devin Williams over the offseason because this was his last year of club control, and we weren't going to be able to sign him after that. And the GM for the Brewers, Matt Arnold, saw what happened in 2021 when they traded Josh Hader to the Padres, despite having a winning record. But because we wanted to get value back for Hader at the time, we traded him, and it completely killed momentum. Completely. So they were just like, and we ended up missing the playoffs. So it's like Brewers have made the playoffs in the last 6 of the last 7 years. 2021 was the one season we didn't make the playoffs, and it was because after that Hader trade, all morale was gone. Everyone was just like, oh, I guess we're not expected to win or whatever, and it's just like, and it just kind of fell apart. So it's like, yeah, it really sucked. So it's like you learned a lesson that if you're going to trade guys, you got to trade them over the offseason if you're having a winning season. If you're having a losing season, then it's fine. If you're not, you're like, okay, we're out of it, we're probably not making the playoffs type thing. Let's just get what we can for these guys.
Let's see what sticks.
Yeah. So, and it's just like, and the thing is like off the Hader trade, we got, one of the best catchers in baseball with William Contreras. So it's like, can't really complain about that. No, that's not. We got Esteury Ruiz back, which then ultimately led into getting William Contreras from the Braves. But,
kind of a weird question for you. What do you think the Baltimore Orioles are going to do for this trade season? They're in a weird spot.
They'll keep Felix Bautista. Their big closer.
I mean, yeah.
But
people goes without saying.
People say that he's going to get traded. Like, there's a small chance he gets traded. And I go, I mean, if some team wants to offer, like, just the fucking nuts for him, you absolutely take that if you're the Baltimore. But, like, it's not going to happen.
It's going to fucking cost an arm and a leg because...
Yeah, it's like, oh, we'll give you all of our top prospects for him. And I go, okay, sweet. I don't know why you're doing that, but we'll take it. No, they'll probably end up trading Cedric Mullins and then what is it, Ryan O'Hearn. Those are their two big ones. Although Cedric Mullins has been playing so bad recently that I think a lot of his value has dropped significantly.
Well, a lot of these people, from what I'm seeing, are entering the final year of their arbitration.
Yeah.
People are saying that the Orioles are gonna. No team will look as different as the Orioles will after the deadline.
Yeah. Depending on how much the Diamondbacks decide to sell, although they apparently just went back to 500 and are thinking about buying and like trying to make a playoff push, and I go, do not do that. I'm sorry, Diamondbacks, don't do that.
No.
It's like if you were. There are 4 teams in front of you for the last wild card spot. You also just lost today, which means that you're now below 500 again. So I'm sitting here going just like, if there was more than a 20% chance you were going to make the playoffs, then I would say go for it probably, and it would probably be closer to 50%. For me right now, I'm looking at it. I'm like, Josh Naylor's on the last year of his contract. Eugenio Suarez is on the last year of his contract, and Zach Gallen's on the last year of his contract. Trade those guys because you're probably not going to be able to re-sign them. You gave Corbin Burns all the money. I doubt you're going to want to do the same thing for Zach Gallen. I doubt you want to do the same thing for Merrill Kelly. So it's like, you want to talk about teams that will probably look completely different afterwards. It's probably going to be most of the Diamondbacks. It's like, I guarantee the Orioles probably don't. They probably trade 2, maybe 3 guys at most. Like, all their main guys are still going to be there. Hauser, Gunnar Henderson, Ali Rochison. Their pitching's already a dumpster fire. So it's like, you don't need to make it any worse. If anything, you could just make it better.
Are the Diamondbacks really looking to trade Suarez?
Oh,
that doesn't make any sense. Oh wow, really?
It's the last year of his contract. His value is extremely high at the moment. Like, some team's gonna want like a guy that's hit 36 homers and a 250 average with an OPS of 918. And I'm thinking it's probably like the Yankees, if you had to ask me.
You don't think the Diamondbacks are going to be able to re-sign him?
No. He's also like 30. He's turning 35 this year, which is like, it's starting to be it'll be that age where you'll see guys start declining when it comes to their production.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and the thing is like, this is a contract year, so the guy is playing really hard to try and get a good contract, so that way when he gets his contract with all the money, he won't play as hard. It's a known thing. It's happened a lot. So it could definitely happen. My guess is Suarez will probably get traded to the Cubs or the Yankees. I think they're the two teams that are probably going to offer the most. The Brewers won't offer nearly what the Diamondbacks will want for him, nor do I think they need to, nor do they want to. I don't know. I just don't see it happening.
No.
And it's like whoever doesn't get Suarez will probably try for Ryan McMahon or what was the other one I said earlier? Oh, Nolan Arenado.
Yeah.
just like there's a lot of third basemen on the market right now, and it's like there are multiple teams that need that hot corner spot filled, and it's just like, yeah, there's guys to fill it. I think if anything, it's like the Brewers might trade for Ryan O'Hearn just because he's got a lot of power. Only 12 home runs though. It's really not that great. I thought he was having a better year than that, I'll be honest. Yeah, no, actually I regret what I just said. Don't do that.
Well, apparently they're looking to. If anybody, it looks like they're looking at Michael Garcia from the Royals.
Oh yeah, that third baseman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick if you could get him. But I was just like, but it's like I said, it's like one of those things where it's just like, okay, if you get him, you're then you're really going to have to adjust the infield around as a result of that, or you just have him play first because until I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, then you shift over like Durbin to second, and then you move Terang over to shortstop or whatever, and then like.
I'm not saying I think that's what's going to happen, but
I don't know. I just
no. Yeah.
It'd be cool. I don't think it's going to happen. It's the same thing with the Diamondbacks. With I was looking at like players as like Diamondbacks have that Guadalajara Perdomo. He's the shortstop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, it'd be really cool to have him too because he's good. He's a good power hitter, great defensive guy as well. Would fit in perfectly with the system the Brewers have, and it's just like, and it's like he has a few years of club control on him, but I think the Diamondbacks are probably trading a lot of guys this year. They're not going to trade their core though. Like Perdomo's been really good for them. Corbin Carroll's really good. Of course, he's not getting traded. So it's just like they'll got their team, but not that much. Like Ketel Marte's not going anywhere. I find it funny that Adrian Hauser with the White Sox has been really good. Yeah, he has a sub-2 ERA. Oh my god. Jeez. This is the guy that the Brewers had years ago and was just so bad. Like he had a few good years and then was just so bad that we traded him to the Mets, and then the Mets ended up dropping him, and then he gets picked up by the White Sox, and it turns out to be really good. And you're like, what? Like, that's crazy. That's pretty much all I had to say about the trade deadline because it's coming up. See what teams do. Yankees have been playing so bad they absolutely need a third baseman right now. It's really funny. Watching the Dodgers implode is pretty fun. I will say that.
Yeah.
As a hater of of large market teams because they get all the fucking fame and everything like that, and watching the Brewers just absolutely obliterate them was just so fun. It was so fun.
You think the Yankees are going to be able to get Suarez this year?
Yeah,
the Diamondbacks?
I bet you they're probably going to go the hardest out of all the teams because
the
Yankees are always that team that is like, we need to win now, like, because that's just how they are. So it's like they have the like after dropping DJ LeMahieu, a move I was not expecting them to make, considering that how much they're having to pay that guy over the next few years, but he's just been so bad they're just like, we're done with you. But it's just like, yeah, it's like they don't have anyone to play third base, so probably trade for him. Cause like, what you have like Oswaldo Peraza or whatever over at third base, and a third base, or if Chisholm's not playing over there, and you go, none of those are natural third basemen, and they've talked about how bad their defense has been, and I'm just like, yeah, you need a third baseman that can actually fucking play third base. And especially if it's like, oh, it's a power hitter at Yankee Stadium, so the guy's hit 36 home runs so far this season, while playing a majority of his games at, I forget what the field is called, Chase Field, I think is what it is, the Diamondbacks home stadium or whatever, which is like one of the hardest stadiums to hit home runs in. And then you go to the Yankee Stadium that has one of the easiest or like easiest ways to hit home runs because you got the short porch and right, along with just short fields all around basically, and the wind blowing out constantly. It's like that stadium is built to hit home runs. Although they do need pitching as well. I don't know. There's a lot wrong with the Yankees, and they won't admit that. But it's really fun. It's really funny watching. What was it? The John Boy guys with Talking Yanks or whatever talk about like.
Yeah.
There's so much wrong with the Yankees. I don't even know what to tell you anymore. It's like it's like, oh, maybe you just trade one thing basically. Like you go. It's like, oh, okay, we need a third baseman type thing, but everything else is pretty solid. It's like, no, we need pitching, but we also need a third baseman. We also need somebody that can get on base. And Volpe has been so bad defensively; it's short. You're just like, it's just all wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's like the same thing with the Dodgers. It's like it was so interesting, like actually seeing the Dodgers for the first time. I don't watch many Dodgers games when they're not playing the Brewers, so it's like now that we just got to see 6 games against them, it's like you have no production in your outfield with like Michael Conforto. It's like Andy Pages is your best outfielder and center field, and he has been such a bad slump since the All-Star break or whatever that it's just like. Oh, you have no production from your outfield. I was like, Mookie Betts is having one of his worst years of his career, along with Freeman, despite his average still being high. But it's like he's like 37 years old. It's like Freddie Freeman or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, Ohtani's hitting, but like that's to be expected and stuff like that. So it's just like. Yeah, Will Smith's doing fine, but it's like when only two of your four like main guys are doing well, and no one else of your lineup is producing anything. It's not great, and it's why you've been struggling. They've been struggling so hard that it's just like people are literally saying it's like it's time to start panicking if you're the Dodgers fan. I'm like, well, I think it's a bit of an overreaction. I do think that there are definitely holes that need to be addressed. I was like, you still have like a really good record at like 56 and like 44 or something like that. That's still a really good record. And you're like you still have like a 5-game lead in the NL West or whatever. I get you're not winning games at the rate you're used to as a big market team, but it's like that's still a good record. And it's like, well, I necessarily don't think. And I was like, don't think it's time to necessarily punch the panic button, but considering the trade deadline is coming up, you do need to address needs of your team. And right now, I don't know what that is. I do and I don't. So.
It's better to address these problems now rather than later, though, because we are going to slowly build up to the point where it's time to hit the panic button. Well, because I can empathize with people's, like, noticing like the decline, you know.
It's like, especially with noticing with this, it's like, oh, once you're past the trade deadline, you can't make trades. The like trades are done basically. So it's just like that. Whatever your team is, like other than a couple free agent signings that might happen toward the end of the year, that's it. So it's like now's the time to address it, and I go, I just don't know what the Dodgers can do. It's like they have. And it's the same thing. It's like they have all this pitching and stuff like that that's all hurt. So it's like, but do you trade for pitching? It's like, but you have guys that are just not healthy or not living up to it. There's a lot. It's interesting. Because it's just like, it's really funny to think that this is the same Dodgers team that last year won the World Series. It's the exact same team, basically, and yet they are so bad comparatively. Guys have just regressed, and it's like I feel like it's just like some of these, like with like Freeman, it's just like, man, I'm 37 years old. I have now 2 rings, one with the Braves and one with the Dodgers. Well, I'm not necessarily phoning it in. I'm definitely not trying as hard.
It doesn't even need to be a thing of like trying as hard. It could just be a thing of, you know, especially when you said they're like 36 to 37.
Yeah, well, it's just like they're like
That-
50, 56, and like 44 or something like that for the record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we're over 100 games into the season now. Whatever it is, I don't remember. But it was like, yeah. I don't know. It's just like, I think it's sometimes just a vibe thing. It's like some teams is just like, like when the going's good, you feel good and everything like that, and everyone's playing well. And then when you're kind of just in a funk, everything just kind of sucks, or whatever type thing. And some teams just are feeling it or whatever. It's like the Cubs earlier this season. It's like I was like, me and my brother were both looking. I'm like, this is basically the same Cubs team. How could they be good or whatever type thing? And it's just like they started out this year really hot. PCA has turned out to be very good for them. It's like Bush has been really good, and like Suzuki's been hitting well, along with a lot of the lineup or whatever type thing. So it's just like because of that, they got the big early lead in the Central, and the Brewers were playing like crap or whatever. So, and now it's kind of like almost flipping back the other way a little bit, which is kind of funny. But it's just like, and it's just, I mean, you can even look at like a team like the Brewers. It's like they were on an 11-game win streak or whatever type thing, and he's just like riding high. You swept the Dodgers twice, and it's just like, and then you took two, and then now you took 2 out of 3 against the Mariners or whatever. And it's like, it's like we're beating teams, and we're not, and it's like these aren't bad teams. Like the Dodgers are not a bad team. The Mariners are not a bad team, and yet we swept the Dodgers and took 2 out of 3 against the Mariners, and now we're top in the Central with the best record in baseball.
I mean,
Pinch me, I'm fucking dreaming. Because if you would have told me 2 months ago that this is where this team was going to be, I would have said you're full of crap. There's no fucking way.
I mean, it doesn't even need to be a sense of like we're going up against bad teams.
No,
like you said, we're not. It's just that our team this season is really, really good, and it's like how do these opposing teams, respond to that?
And it's so interesting watching other teams try and figure out exactly why are the Brewers good, because you look at them in an analytics situation, and none of the analytics other than clutch hitting are good. It's like we're not barreling up the ball, we're not hitting home runs, we're not even making great contact off of the bat, which means that like we're just like we're hitting the ball very very softly or whatever. But it's just finding holes, using speed to get to leg out infield singles, and just coming up with clutch hits. That's legitimately all it is. Stealing bases, playing fundamental defense, and just pitching the crap out of every team, basically, because it's just like, oh yeah, if teams can't score and you're scoring like 4 runs a even if you give up 1 or 2 runs, that's the success right there. And it's like we've gotten to the point now where it's just like, and then like, it's like the thing is with like teams like are looking at like Mizrowski and stuff like that, and they go, oh man, this guy throws 100 and like a 96-mile-an-hour slider, like holy fuck, like that's insane. It was like, it's to the point now teams are like looking at it as like, oh man, if you're facing these guys in the playoffs, this is probably one of the scariest teams you can face in the playoffs, because you have 5 great starters basically, none of them who you can go, oh, that's like we could definitely beat this person type thing. And like, there's not a single starter for the Brewers that I would say is like, oh, we could definitely beat this guy. I go, now you're gonna have to work for it, bro. It's like the closest one that would be like Jose Quintana, and not because he's bad. It's just probably because he's our worst of our starting 5.
Yeah.
Just saying something for a 36-year-old veteran who's been around the league and has won multiple World Series with multiple teams. So there's that. That's why I always say it's like, man, 2 months ago, no way this happens. So I got to be dreaming, right? Shit, I'm not dreaming. I was like, since I was just thinking about it, I was like, the Yankees are facing the Blue Jays as we speak. I wonder if they're winning or not, because they need to win that.
Let's take a look.
They are not.
Time of recording. Oh, jeez.
They're losing 2-1 right now. It's only the fourth inning, but so there's still plenty of time. But it's like,
They need to clutch this though.
it's like they do because they're like 3 games back or whatever, and they're in the standings right now.
Jeez.
Yeah, they are literally 3 back from Toronto right now, and Toronto beat them yesterday. So it's like,
Boy, it must not feel good to be a Yankees fan this season.
I mean,
Holy cannoli!
it's like the Yankees are such a I don't know if head case is the correct word, but it kind of feels like that. It's a tale of 2 teams is what I look at it. It's like early in the season, I feel like they were riding high. They were like, we're on top of the world type thing. Judge is having one of the best seasons in all of baseball type thing or whatever. And it's like he's leading the offense. They're doing great. Pitching's been great type thing. And then it's just like, then the month of May hit. And then now everything's going wrong. They're not hitting home runs. They're not getting offensive. They're making more errors than they have the entire season like that. Injuries are hurting everybody. I'm just like, and now it's like, what do we do? What do we need to figure out? Because it's like, well, early in the season, Devin Williams was not having a great start, and we had Luke Weaver as kind of filling that role, and he did great. But now it's like, okay, now Williams is looking like the true closer of the game of the team again, which is what they needed. But now we can't seem to do anything anymore. And you go, And I couldn't tell you why. I think it's just things, they're starting to show their true nature in my mind. It's like if you watch John Boy Media, there are a bunch of guys that are like big Yankee fans or whatever. They have a podcast called Talking Yanks or whatever, where they talk to the Yankees manager Aaron Boone. Like I think it's like every other week or something like that, or maybe every week. They sit down for him and just kind of ask him some general questions, and they're pretty hard critics of their team because it's like they want to win. Like they haven't won a World Series since 2008. I think that was right. And it's like, you'd think for a team like the Yankees they would have won one. Their last one wouldn't be 2008, but it is. But it's like, yeah, they're like legit fans where they're like, okay, we see the issues, we see what we need to do, and it's just like, can we actually do it type thing. I don't know. I feel like if I'm a Yankees fan, I just go, you just need to play more fundamentally sound baseball. And I don't know if that's just like me as.
Well, no, that's the exact right take because I feel like,
but yeah, but that's just kind of like a duh moment. But like at the same time, it's like you look at, it's really funny being mainly Brewers fan and then like watching any other team basically play, because it's just like you see the Brewers take an extra base. Like whenever a ball goes in the outfield, if they can, they will absolutely round second go to third base. That's what I mean by that. Or whatever type thing. And it's just like, but you watch other teams play, and they don't do that. Like, they don't steal at the rate the Brewers do. They don't leg out things like they do, or whatever. And they don't play it. And most teams don't play as sound fundamentally as the Brewers do. And you just go, it's weird. It's like guys that you think should absolutely score from second don't. And I'm just like, wow. It's just weird. And I go, I guess it's just I'm too programmed to believing that every player on every team is just so fast, and it's like, but they're not. And I have to take that out of the realm of possibility in my brain, which is really hard to do. It's like, your outfielder's on second base, and the ball goes into center field. Wait, why didn't he score from second base? He's too slow. What do you mean he's too slow? He's a fucking outfielder. He should be able to score from second. What do you mean your third baseman can't steal third? I don't know. It's a whole different mindset.
Yeah.
It's why they say it's like when you're watching the Brewers, like it's like watching a whole different team. Like you just don't see baseball played like that nowadays. It's the old school mindset of Pat Murphy, and if the Brewers end up winning the NL Central, he will probably win back-to-back Manager of the Years in my mind.
Oh yeah, it's working 100%.
It was really funny because everyone was very critical of Murphy at the start of the season because obviously the season wasn't going very well. But it's just like he would send guys down, bench guys for the smallest little things or whatever like that. And even myself, I was a critic of that too. I was just like, it's like doing this kind of stuff doesn't build morale. It doesn't do anything or whatever. It's like, oh, I got benched because I threw a ball to home plate instead of to second base. Well, because I did that, and even though there was no play to have at home plate, the guy from first got over to second, which then set him up into scoring position. And whether or not they ended up scoring or not, that could have ended up being a big part of the game. And it's just something so little. And it's just like Murphy would bench guys for that. You know, if guys were kind of falling asleep at the plate, watching too many fastballs down the middle, he would, without at least taking a hack at it, he would sit him.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that, and say, hey, you just need to have better at bats and stuff like that. And then everyone's just like, it's an old school mentality. You don't really call out players like that anymore. It's just not great for team building and fundamentals and stuff like that. And here we are sitting near close to the end of July, and again, best record in baseball. I'm going to ride this high as long as I can. So I'm just like, it took a little while. And it's guys have got to buy into the system. It's what it is, and it's like with everyone in the dugout and everyone on the team is just, they're bought, they're sold. They're just like, all right, I get it. I get the message loud and clear. I'll do better next time. I'll take my licks, type thing. And ever since then, Frelick's been great. Ortiz has been a little spotty, but been pretty good. Durbin's been amazing. Way better than I thought he was ever going to be. And type thing, and it's just like, and even Churio has been doing, had a rough start to the season, and he's been picking it up lately again. So you just go, shit, it's working. Pitching's been great, bullpen's been great, everything's great. Team's hitting on all cylinders, and it's just like, there's no complaints by me. It's like Quinn Priester today went seven innings, looked dominant. It was great. Like I said, I'm going to ride this high as long as I can. Because I know when we get to the playoffs, we're going to lose in like 2 straight games, and then we're going to be out of the playoffs, and I'm like, God fucking damn it. Every fucking time. Nah, this year is going to be different. We got to do it for Uke.
I certainly hope so.
Look, I'm just saying right now, last time the Brewers had the best record in baseball and were on top of their division was 1982. Now, if no one knows, if you're not understanding what I mean by that, 1982, Brewers were one of the best teams in all of baseball and made it to the World Series. Now, they lost the World Series, but they made it to the World Series. Now, I'm not trying to hype myself up too much, but just saying. Anyways, that was an hour of talking baseball. I didn't expect that.
It was a good talk, though.
Ah, damn it! I just thought of another thing. It's not baseball related. It's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
The Clippers ended up signing Chris Paul. They are the old men of basketball, and it's so fucking funny. They have 34-year-old James Harden, fucking like 36 or like 32-year-old Kawhi Leonard, like George Paul, who's like 38 or something like that. Chris Paul, who's literally 39 years old. And you sit here going just like, and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to win it all. And I go, with the remnants of guys that used to play a lot better than they are right now? I know. Hey, Clippers, I see what you're doing there.
That's,
you're trying to make the old NBA players look be nostalgic about all these guys. Like, oh man, remember how much of a super team this would have been like 10 years ago type thing. It's like they were all in their primes. It was great. Like the NBA was great. That was 10 years ago. It's just funny. I heard they signed Chris Paul, and I was just like, you didn't need any more old men. You didn't. You already got enough of them.
That is freaking crazy.
It's hilarious because they're all great players, and I was like, well, it's like George, like I said, like George Paul, or Paul George and Chris Paul, or whatever. It's like those guys were on top of the league at one point. It's like Chris Paul is known as the point god because he was just so good about like finding the open guy or making the open shot. He was the best point guard in the league for a while, pretty much. And it's just like James Harden was like MVP caliber player or whatever. His ability to score was so good that it was just like he single-handedly made the Houston Rockets into a playoff contending team. Pretty much. So it was like he was really good. And Kawhi Leonard literally won an NBA Finals with the Toronto Raptors. And I think with the Spurs as well. I'm thinking about it. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Either way. But it's just like Kawhi's always hurt. George Paul's at the end of his career. James Harden's is nearing the end of his career. And Chris Paul absolutely should have retired, but the Clippers brought him back because you're like, oh, well, you started out with your success in the Clippers, so here's like one last ride type deal. It's probably not going to be a good team, but it will probably be a team that a lot of people watch just because you got all those old players on it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to say the least.
They'll make a playoff spot just because it's so easy to make the playoffs in the NBA. I don't know. You got anything else, or should we just call it there?
We can save the Joe. I can't fucking say shit.
We'll get it next time.
Can't fucking say. We'll get it next week. Yeah, because we're already at an hour for this episode.
Yeah, I don't. I was like, after a bunch of sports, I was like, I don't want to talk. I don't think I should do anything else more than that.
No.
So, thank y'all so much for listening to the ramblings of sports and baseball. And it's like, I'll be curious to see in a week. It'll be just before the trade deadline, but I wanted to have this discussion now because by the time we record next podcast, the trade deadline will have happened. Well, by the time we record it and then put it out, the trade deadline will have happened. So I wanted to talk about it now. So, well, yeah.
In that case, thanks for listening to a couple of Brewers fans gush about how good the Brewers are doing.
Dude, like I said, I'm going to ride this high for as long as I can. I absolutely will. But, yeah. It's just such a fun team. Anyways. So, yeah. Thank y'all so much for listening. Be sure to leave a review if you'd be so kind in the Spotify or wherever reviews can happen, Apple, whatever.
Be sure to listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us a good little rating on there. It always helps. Tell your friends if you had a good time listening to us.
Watch us on YouTube, I guess, if you care to see our faces. But honestly, that's really all it is.
And thanks for joining us for another week.
Yeah. So, that'll be all for us. Bye-bye.